one aspect of it is the sponsorship, right? Open innovation comes with some complexity for adoption in large corporations. Who is your entry point? What are the sponsors? How important is the sponsorship in a given organization to the adoption of your solution? Let's start with you.
I would say the sponsorship is more the business partner, and always we start an open innovation project, or we start project into big corporates thanks to business, because they are facing the problematic, always the same. And so for my company, we have many use cases for C-level people, which means that, okay, big corporates have invested so much into BI tools, but at the end, the executive committee would love to have that on mobile, would love to be able to share with security and scalability and, high level of design and personalized experience on mobile. And we start with people in charge of the reporting of the C-level. In another case, for example, in a big logistician company, a big brand, French one, which is growing so fast and expanding so fast by investing and acquiring other subsidiaries, they need for the change management of their company to bring the data into the end of, the latest guy on the hierarchical level. And even if it's at the end only one KPI, but it's the KPI that the guy needs to see in order to understand that he's part of something big. And so it is about change. And even if you want to do that with your client, for example, you need to give them, the access about what is your storytelling about your strategy. And so entry point is always business. Then they help us to speak with IT people, of course. Thanks to a partnership like Capgemini, we are even able to, make a lot of pedagogy around. You already have BI tools, but then you need to be sure that the message, the knowledge that you have created, all of this data needs to be understood on the field. And then this is where we are struggling sometimes, but when we see people who are able to innovate, ready to do that, they start, and we see the adoption just moving really fast.
And in your case, it can be pretty viral because of the appetite that raises. In the case of Threekit, what's your entry point in client organization?
It's quite similar. There are variations, and we're in a different field, but it's quite similar. Having the business stakeholders and the sponsorship is super important. There are variations depending on the company size or organization. I was with a CEO half an hour ago. At the beginning of the morning, it was CRO and CDO. We're very omni-channel by nature, right? So once you say that it's cross-functional, visual commerce or product experience is a new space. It's not a defined category with defined budgets and defined organizations, but we need to start anyway at C-level, because what is not measured cannot be improved.
Yeah, exactly.
It needs to be aligned with the storytelling of the brand or the manufacturer, with the transformational roadmap. And also, Bernard Arnault talked about it yesterday in the Innovation Award ceremony. Innovation is critical, but innovating, just for a one-shot, a throwaway, a coup on two products doesn't mean anything, right? It's about quality of execution and scaling. So it needs to be sponsored by business. Very often, at the same time, for us, it's not a second step. I would say it at the same time. And sometimes IT is the entry point, because in some organizations, the CIO now has a seat on the board, or the executive committee is a business enabler. I grew up with, some white hair in the years of a CIO reporting to CFO and being a cost center. We're seeing now many CIOs or CDIOs.
And that's exactly a good point, because if your entry point and you raise appetite through the business, and embarking the CIO organization is certainly paramount, right?